Hi, my name is Beth Hipple. I'm a technical instructor at DBT Lab. This video is for DBT developers getting the correct permissions they need in Redshift to use DBT Cloud as a developer. Let's go ahead and hop into Redshift. Ensure that you have a login to your AWS account and a Redshift user assigned to you. Also ensure that you have the correct login credentials that you need for DBT Cloud. Here in Redshift, let's go through the correct permissions that a DBT developer needs in order to create data objects and use raw sources. So here we have two different databases that we'll be using. One is our database for our raw sources, in this case, sample data dev, and our target database, dev here. Since dev is our target database, our developers need access to create in that database. So let's go ahead and ensure that this group transformer, the group that my DBT user is a part of, let's ensure that they have that create granted to them. Excellent. The second part here is my DBT user needs the privilege to use our schema where the raw data sources live. Let's go ahead and ensure that our user has access to the schema in our source database. So we'll go ahead and run this. Excellent. And we'll do the rest of these here as well for my four schema that are in my raw source database. Now that my group has privileges to use those schema, we need to grant privileges to select those tables in the specific schema. So let's go ahead and grant select on all of the tables in the schema where my raw data sources will live. Again, my DBT user is a part of this group transformer, so I'm going to assign those privileges to the transformer group. Excellent. Those four were successful. Now that we have permission to select on all of the tables in our raw source schema, we want to alter the privileges to allow our DBT user to select future objects in those particular schema. The way that we'll do that here is we'll alter default privileges and we'll grant that select on tables to our group for the particular schema. So let's go ahead and make sure that we have access to those future objects in that source schema. So now we have the appropriate permissions that we need to create objects in our target database and use current and future objects in our source schema.